Hi everyone, it's Sue. I just thought I would pop in today and share a little bit of fabric shopping that I have done recently. You all know that, well, most of you know that I'm pretty well obsessed with the Kathy Holden fabric and her paper range, or her paper crafting range, sorry, at the moment. So I do actually have her debut paper crafting range in my shop. I'll put the details down below. You won't be disappointed. And I've just had a excuse me, a huge restock of that as well. So I just thought I would show you this beautiful range. Now, I got some of this from my local patchwork shop. They unfortunately only got sent 4 bolts out of the range. So I got what they had. I'm just trying to think what they had. So that is, excuse me, Precious Times here in Toowoomba. These are the 4, and this is Linen and Lace and Amazing Grace from Kathy Holden, and it is just absolutely stunning. It's a little bit brighter, which I love. It's not too bright. I can see me using these in my journals, but they're just beautiful. So they're 100% cotton quilting fabric. So I'll just quickly show you. So this beautiful little rosettes. Just seeing if they have a code or anything. So this one is stock number 7405. So with here in Australia with the Kathy Holden fabric, it's hard to get the full range just in the one place. So I'm sort of always doing a little bit of a search to see what I can get where. And there's more in this range, which I will get eventually as well. So she has all the beautiful ginghams that go with the range as well. And this one is 7406 stock number. The colors are just so fresh and lovely. I love this. This comes in various colors as well. It's like you know, like the real thing. It's got so much texture. Well, it hasn't got much texture to feel it, but it looks like it has a lot of texture. This one is stock number 7404. Let's hold that up a bit closer for you to have a look. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. And then this one, which looks like it's got a lot of texture as well. It's got like the cross stitch effect to it. And that one is stock number 7402. So they're the ones that I got from my local patchwork shop. And as I said, I will put the details down below for that. So it was Precious Times here in Toowoomba. Now the next few, and sorry, this is a backing that I found at Precious Times as well. I just loved it. I love anything with maps, and I just thought that would go so well with Tim Holtz fabric and papers and that sort of thing as well. So I got, it's actually a backing fabric, so it's quite wide, and I just got 1/2 meter, so I'll be able to use that a lot. So that's obviously not Kathy Holden. That is by Whistler Studios, Wyndham Fabrics. So that was just an extra. And no, I probably don't need all these, but I will use them in my journals most definitely. So this next lot of Kathy Holden fabric, which is still the same range, Leather and Lace and Amazing Grace, I found on eBay. Love that fabric, 123. I will endeavour as well, once again, to remember to put their details down below. So they had a few more bits and pieces, but not the full range again. And I did double up because I loved that. So I got that one. And then it comes in a pink as well. So it's just stunning. And that is stock number 7402. These are all Moda, I think. Yes, Moda fabrics. So there's that one. And this is like the little pink rosettes, but on your tealy blue background. And it is stock number 7405. And this is on a neutral background, so the same, those little rosettes, and it is stock number 7405. Okay, so they're the same but just in different colorways. Okay, and then the piece de resistance is this amazing collage piece here. Absolutely love it. It's got, you know, it's same thing. It looks so textural. Like these are almost 3D. It's just, you know, all these beautiful envelopes and the torn gingham. And so this is a color. I'm pretty sure you can get the pink gingham in the range as well. This is actually a fabric in the range. This is in the range as well. So I'm yet to find them. And these are in different colors as well. They're just amazing, you know, like old vintage doilies, tablecloths. It's just, yeah, just amazing. You look at it and you just see something different every time. So, and I don't know whether I said the stock number for that one is 7400. So yeah, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I'm keen to carve out some time and get creating with all of my Kathy Holden products that I've got. As I said, I have started a few journals. I just haven't had much time lately to get into them, but I am very keen to do so. All right, I just wanted to share that beautiful fabric with you. So I'll put the details down below where I got these bits and pieces from. There are a few shops in Australia. As I said, none of the shops that I've seen so far have the full range. So it's just a matter of doing a little bit of research and just chasing up where you can find it from.
I was going to finish the video off there and I decided that I'd start trying to put together a slow stitch cover. I'm going away on a holiday in a couple of weeks. Actually, it's, yeah, a week and a half away. Not that I'm counting or anything. So I thought I would just try and put together a couple of slow stitch covers to take away and sit on the balcony, watch the waves roll in and do a bit of slow stitching. Sounds like heaven to me, so that's what I'm working on, but I'm really struggling, as you can see here. I always use a bit of wadding, not a high loft wadding, but a bit of wadding on the underneath of my covers. And just with the background being so bare, just with the wadding there, I was really struggling to put the bits and pieces together. I'm fiddling around. I'm really determined to have that little piece of doily. Well, actually, it's a napkin in the top right-hand corner there with a bit of embroidery on it. I'm really keen to try and have that, but I'm really struggling with that as well, to be quite honest. So you'll see me fiddle around and diddle around trying to get something to come together. To be quite honest with you, I'm struggling a little bit with the fabric being a little bit brighter than what I normally use as well. I absolutely adore the fabric range, don't get me wrong. It's just a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I think that that's what is making me struggle a little bit there as well. But I can assure you I get there in the end. So in this part, I've decided it's just looking too busy and too much at the moment. I've just decided to go to the ephemera piece of fabric and cut some single pieces out. I love that little vintage envelope with the pink gingham around it. I've cut that out, and I'm just going through some of the pieces here and working out what I can cut out and what I'll use to place on the cover. Oh, I just started laughing at myself watching me back. You should have, if you could just be in my head. It's just crazy. I know what I want. I can visualize it in my head, but to try and get it out actually on top of this piece of wadding is obviously an absolute struggle. Clearly, all those colours weren't working for me, so I'm going to add another colour. It's just a paler pink, something a little bit plainer, I guess. I'm just trying to break down all the different patterns, and I'm just tearing a strip. This is a 100% cotton. All the fabric actually is 100% cotton quilting fabric. So I've decided to bring in that pink, and then I've decided to not bring in that pink just at the moment. So I've gone with just some plain tone-on-tone white cotton fabric, which I'm just tearing to try and make it a little bit straight. And I'm going to try and build my piece using a little bit of white in the background, just to sort of break down all the patterns. And that's what I'm doing, is just cutting some pieces, tearing them, and then I'm going to build from there. So I'm reintroducing this pink polka dot now, just straightening that up a little bit by snipping the edge and tearing it. And I'm going to put that right across the middle. I've got a few little bits of white. So in my mind, that is actually just breaking things down a little bit, and it's making it a little bit easier for me to deal with all the different patterns. I do still play around. I guess coming from, I'm self-taught patchworker, and if you have done patchwork before, it's a precise art, I guess. If you're like 1 millimetre out in sewing any of your pieces together, that will throw your whole quilt out. So I'm struggling just with the random torn pieces and that sort of thing. I love it once I finally get things to work out the way I want to, but it does actually take me a little bit to actually go through that process and be happy with things that aren't perfectly straight and symmetrical. So you see me just take everything off again. Oh dear. Change my mind so often, but I really love that doily, that nice soft feminine doily, and it makes an appearance again shortly. So I'm trying to fill, you can see the bit of wadding, pieces of wadding showing through there, and I'm just trying to fill that gap so that you can't see that. And then when I put the fine doily down, I don't want any of the wadding showing. I always like to make sure my fabrics overlap well as well, so that when it's sewn, everything catches together. So you can see I've placed that doily down, and there's still that little bit of wadding to the left there that you can see at the top left, or in the middle actually, middle of the journal cover there, but to the left of the doily, and that is annoying me, and I will try and fill that. So I've just got this cotton lace as well, and I thought that might look nice at the bottom of this little envelope, so I'm just going to trim that down and I'll place that underneath. quite like how that looks. So there we go. We filled that spot where the, what do you call that underneath? The wadding. Sorry, I'm trying to think what you call it. So I'm liking how this is starting to come together now. The white and the polka dot, pink polka dot, just sort of broke it down enough for my brain to actually register that I can use all these patterns together. You see me thinking there. To be quite honest with you, it took me quite probably 2.5 hours to get this cover to come together to a point where I was happy with it. And obviously I'm going to add lots of different stitches and bits and pieces to it as I go along, but I just need to get the base done and be happy with the base for me to be able to build on that. What I'm trying to do now is work out where the centre of the journal cover will be, because I want that envelope to be one of the features on the front of the cover. So I was just trying to work out approximately where the centre or where the binding will be, just so that I could move that over a little bit. And determined to put that piece down as well somewhere. I've just got these lovely little motives, little flower motives that I'd like to add in there as well. So with the white, it breaks it down a little bit. And I'll go back to that ephemera piece of fabric, and I'm going to cut a few more pieces out and have a play and see if any of those suit as well. So I did cut a few more pieces of out of that ephemera fabric, but I haven't used them. I didn't particularly like where I was putting them. So I've gone back to these little floral motifs. I'd like to try and use those. I think they look sweet there. And so they will actually feature on the back. So I'm trying to work out whether to cover up that that larger piece of the white there. I mean, it defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I put the white there because I wanted to break it down, and now I want to cover it all up. I don't know, go figure. I've just got this piece of, so this is one of the fabrics in the range. It's a patchwork piece. I haven't been able to get my hands on any of that just at this stage, so I did want to actually put that in there though, because it's got all the colours in the one fabric. So I've just tucked it under that little napkin there. And I've also decided that I love these birds and I'd like to incorporate them into this as well. So I'm now going to cut them out. Absolutely love those buttons. They look so 3D and so textural. I'd love to be able to find some buttons very similar and actually sew them onto the cover. The only thing with that is I'll have to be careful because where I'm putting them at the moment is where I will be binding the journal. So when you're doing your slow stitch covers, you always have to keep that in mind when you're adding beads or buttons or sequins and that sort of thing. I don't ever sew anything too close to the edge because I will trim this cover down a little bit. And you can see with the ephemera pieces, I'm not putting them too close to the edge because I don't want to actually have to trim them away any. So I won't take much off, but as you stitch, it does actually pull your cover in a little bit, and it will probably make it a little bit wonky. So I'm just keeping that in mind as well when I'm putting the pieces down. So back to these motifs. Once again, something else I'm determined to actually get down onto the cover. Just having a look at this beautiful piece to see if there's anything else I can cut out and add. Decided now that I'm going to cut that label out separately from that piece of fabric. Any of these bigger scraps I'll keep as well, and I'll make them into, make clusters and bits and pieces throughout the journal. So I don't ever throw any of those out. So I'm pretty happy where I've come to a final stage with the cover. I hope you like that. I just wanted to share my process with you, my process. It might have done your head in, and I apologise if it did. But until next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.